The crying child struggles to hold back tears as someone speaks about the goodness of the children. A nun comforts the sobbing girl while a boy stands beside them, both appearing innocent under the serene sky. The group of children stands before a mysterious figure, casting an imposing shadow over them. A large man steps forward, declaring himself their new father as the children listen silently. The children wave goodbye as the man walks away, hinting at their past education under his care. The children stand attentively as the nun proudly speaks of the special education they have received. The nun solemnly declares that the conversation has reached its conclusion. With a swift motion, the training begins as the children practice handling dangerous tools with precision. The children are startled, gripping their weapons tightly, unsure of what's about to happen next. The nun corrects Ellie, telling her not to let her nose run while pretending to cry. The nun coldly explains how some parents may resent children who seem slow-witted or dense. Ellie responds with determination, assuring that she understands the harsh reality. From a high vantage point, an older man watches the children and reflects on the intense training they've endured since they could walk. A muscular disciplinarian stands in a room filled with weapons, symbolizing the rigorous upbringing and discipline the children face under special trainers. The cost of nurturing each child is high due to the rigorous training and discipline required. The children are compared to computers, their purpose defined by those who control them. How these children are utilized depends on the intentions of their buyers. The man points to a photograph, instructing the boy to memorize the face of their next target. Despite their dangerous nature, strict safety measures were implemented to control the children. From a young age, the children were ingrained with unbreakable rules that they are incapable of disobeying. The children are taught the 3 absolute principles, which are crucial to their control. These principles are designed to ensure complete obedience to the buyer, making it essential to remember them. As they drive, the boy holds up a photograph of their target and warns his father about a car following them. The man, startled by the boy's words, demands clarification about the situation. Angrily, the man orders the boy to stay quiet and focus on memorizing the face in the photo. The boy obediently accepts the command, understanding that a parent's words are absolute and must always be followed. A sudden explosion hits the car, causing immediate destruction and chaos. The car flips over multiple times on the road, with debris scattering everywhere. The boy, shaken and covered in blood, stares in horror at his unconscious father. Realizing he cannot use his powers without permission, the boy is helpless, desperately clinging to his father for approval. 2 armed men aim their guns, ready to engage the situation as they assess their target. The men approach cautiously, realizing something unexpected about their surroundings. The boy cries out in desperation, pleading for help as he clutches his wounded father. One of the men curses under his breath, frustrated by the unforeseen presence of a child with their target. The men debate whether to dispose of the boy or simply abandon him after their mission. As the boy struggles to get up, one of the men approaches him, stating that the last and most important principle is about to come into play. The man prepares to strike the boy, explaining their circumstances as he draws blood. Despite the pain, the boy instinctively grabs the gun, preparing to defend himself as the injured man staggers backward. One of the armed men observes the wreckage, noticing someone moving near the overturned car. The boy, with a fierce and determined gaze, ignores the previous restrictions and prepares to take action. In a single shot, the man with the rifle is struck down as blood spurts from his head. Meanwhile, the priest, seated calmly at his desk, admires the obedience of his children, questioning if they are not the perfect, good children. The man opens a file, asking if his prospective client would be interested in making a purchase from the catalog of children. With a sudden change in tone, he points out that one particular child is unfortunately unavailable. As he pulls out a document, the man refers to this child as their only blemish, implying something went wrong. He explains that this child was once an elite among them, with the highest abilities, and he admits he was personally very fond of him. The man reveals that despite the child's potential, they lost track of him, or rather, he disappeared. They've tried to locate him, but without a parent, the child cannot use his powers, ensuring he remains unnoticed. He speculates that by now, the child might be living an ordinary life somewhere, blending in with others. In a crowded city, the lost child walks among ordinary citizens, his past hidden as he lives an inconspicuous life. A clenched fist tightens as a grim possibility is spoken aloud, suggesting the person in question might even be dead. A fierce punch is delivered with immense force, striking the opponent directly and causing a violent impact. The group stands around, observing the fallen man as one of them casually comments on the effectiveness of the hit. The injured man struggles to speak, but his words are cut off, drawing a mocking response from the one standing over him. The man, bruised and battered, tries to play it off, claiming the punch was worth 15 points. His mockers laugh and agree, high-fiving each other while the injured man curses under his breath. One of the group members eagerly asks how many points a kick would be worth as he rushes forward to join in. The situation intensifies as another person jumps in, asking to be evaluated for points, ready to land his own hit. The man stays silent, placing his hand on his chest with an unreadable expression on his face. The glasses-wearing man is confused, trying to understand the sudden change in the conversation. One of the group members mocks the situation, while another person is frustrated and accuses the system of malfunctioning. Cheyenne is interrupted as someone calls his name, questioning what he is doing. The tension between the group escalates as Cheyenne gets involved, ready to take action. With a calm smile, Hyunho dismisses the situation, making it clear that he was already hitting him. Joseph clenches his fist, frustrated with the ongoing events. Cheyenne jokingly praises Joseph, exaggerating the points for his punch and comparing his strength to someone who studied abroad. Hyunho sarcastically asks Joseph about how much he benches, mocking him with a smile. Cheyenne is casually told to buy cigarettes, responding eagerly and running off to do so. Cheyenne confidently tells Joseph that he'll beat him next time, while another character is impressed by his American accent. Hyunho, deep in thought, believes he could easily defeat Joseph, but then someone calls out his name, interrupting his thoughts. Cheyenne tightens his grip on Hyunho, questioning if the insult was too harsh, pointing out it was worth 52 points. Cheyenne pulls Hyunho closer, threatening him that he won't escape this time, making his intentions clear. Hyunho glances nervously, realizing the seriousness of the situation. As they sit down to eat, Cheyenne demands that Hyunho pays for their food, citing his exhaustion from running errands for Joseph. Cheyenne accuses Hyunho of thinking it's a waste of money to treat him, pointing out that Joseph gets treated differently. Cheyenne is fascinated by the snack shop having the same name as Hyunho's, making an unexpected discovery. Hyunho's mom greets them warmly, offering food to Cheyenne as a friend of her son. Cheyenne realizes that Hyunho's mom is the owner of the shop, connecting the name to him as Hyunho reflects on trying to keep the shop a secret. Cheyenne smirks while eating, internally frustrated that he got caught in this situation. Hyunho grows more suspicious, worrying about what Cheyenne might be planning with his mom. Hyunho urgently calls out to his aunt, determined to intervene. In a sudden move, Hyunho lunges forward, apologizing for not introducing Cheyenne earlier, claiming him as a friend. Hyunho is shocked, realizing why the shop's name felt familiar. Hyunho's mom laughs, mentioning that he always tells her to keep it subtle, while Cheyenne teases Hyunho about how hard she works for him. Nervous about staying too long, Hyunho urgently tries to leave, suggesting that their friends are waiting. His mom, surprised, prepares food for them to take with them, packing it with care. Hyunho's mom, smiling warmly, asks how many of Cheyenne's friends are waiting, packing bags of snacks for them. Hyunho protests, but his mom insists, saying she doesn't need to sell more today, offering the food for free. Cheyenne excitedly accepts the generous offer, while Hyunho continues to plead with his mom not to give it all away. His mom lovingly explains that Hyunho's friends are like her own children, dismissing his concerns with a smile. Cheyenne responds politely to Hyunho's mom, while Hyunho silently protests, thinking that Cheyenne isn't what his mom believes. Cheyenne smiles and reassures her they will enjoy the food, maintaining his facade. As Hyunho grabs Cheyenne's hand, he urgently calls his name, trying to stop him. Hyunho asks Cheyenne not to tell Joseph or the others, pleading for a favor in a serious tone. Cheyenne confidently assures Hyunho's mom that he'll handle things and promises to leave now as she waves goodbye. Hyunho, feeling frustrated, reluctantly agrees to bring his friends next time, despite his internal conflict. Hyunho quietly questions why his mom is doing this, feeling regretful and upset about the situation. In a burst of anger, Hyunho yells, frustrated that his mom acts so kindly to others, even though he told her not to. Hyunho's mom stands nervously, explaining that she was just happy to meet his friend for the first time. She apologizes to Hyunho, causing him to question why she is sorry. She pleads for him not to be angry, explaining that she only wanted him to get along with his friends, further apologizing. Hyunho clenches his fist, struggling with his emotions, begging her to stop apologizing. A rag is suddenly revealed in the bowl of tteokbokki, shocking everyone. Hyunho stares at the rag in disbelief, questioning what is happening. One of Hyunho's friends mocks the situation, holding up the rag and questioning why it was found in the tteokbokki. He lightly slaps Hyunho and sarcastically asks if he can get a refund, making fun of the situation.